the continuation of induction machine, the next topic after construction and working of induction machine and slip formulas. After that, there is a topic equivalent circuit of induction machine. So here is the starter parameters R1, X1, and the starter parameters R1 and X1 are constant under starting condition and turning condition because the starter uh, parameters does not related with the slip, and the rotor parameters here is the R2 and SX2. So here SX2 and SE2, these two parameters are variable parameters. These two parameters varies with the running conditions and standstill condition. From standstill condition to running condition, the parameters are changes. And I2 is the rotor current. The rotor current I2 is depends upon the rotor parameters like rotor resistance, reactance, and induced EMF. So the currents are changes from starting to running parameters also changes. So here is the transformer secondary and induction machine secondary circuits. So there is a similarities between the transformer secondary and induction machine secondary, because in the transformer secondary and in induction machine secondary, the secondary parameters R2 and X2 and R2 SX2. If the induction machine is at a standstill condition, that means the induction machine is does not rotating, means when the slips are equal to 1, when slips are equal to 1, in that condition the machine is not running. In that condition, if rotor parameters are R2 and X2 only and E2 only, so it is similar to the transformer secondary. A induction machine under standstill condition, rotor parameters are equal to transformer secondary parameters. So see the transformer secondary I2 current equation. I2 is equal to E2 by under root R2 square plus X2 square, R2 square plus X2 square. So here induction machine secondary I2 equal to SE2 by under root R2 square plus SX2 square. So this equation is written from the circuit. So as we know that the current equal to, from the Ohm's law, current equal to EMF by impedance. Because it is a AC circuit, so it is a impedance in the denominator, impedance. So extra term here is in the induction machine is S is there because the slip is varies from 0 to 1. So in induction machine, the current I2 current is variable current. In transformer, the I2 current it there is no slip here, so the I2 current varies according to the loads. So in the induction machine, I2 equal to SE2 under root R2 square plus SX2 square. So in this denominator, take a S as a common. So S and as a denominator and as a numerator will be cancelled. So the R2 by S square plus X2 square. SX2, actually SX2 is there, but S is taken as common. So the S is S and S cancel. So the remaining term is the, and denominator is the R2 by S square plus X2 square. So in that R2 by S is taken here. So R2 by S at both sides, R2 by S, and this side in the right hand side R2 by S plus R2 minus R2. Here if the plus R2 and minus R2 is cancelled, then the left hand side of R2 by S is equal to right hand side R2 by S. So It is to simplify the equation, above equation, current equation. So in that, in the right hand side, R2 by S plus R2 minus R2, from this plus R2 and plus R2 into 1 by S minus 1. So in this, R2 by S equal to R2 plus RL. The RL is here is a R2 into 1 by S. So this value is the R2 into 1 by S minus 1, that is a RL. The RL is a electrical equivalent of mechanical load. So the RL is called a mechanical load. So the RL value is R2 into 1 by S minus 1. So this is now R2 by S equal to R2 plus RL. R2 by S equal to R2 plus RL. So in this equation, the R2 by S in place of R2 by S, substitute the R2 plus RL. R2 plus RL. Substitute the R2 plus RL. R2 by N. So we get a value that I2 by I2 equal to E2 by under root R2 plus RL plus X2 square plus X2 square. Okay. So in this way, we can write a equivalent circuit. We can redraw the equivalent circuit like I2 equal to R2 X2 and RL term is there, and close the circuit with E2, and there is a I2 current. In a previous video I was explained that you can see that in induction machine video 3. Okay, and next, a 4-pole 50 Hz induction machine is running with 1450 rpm. Running with 1450 rpm means the rotor speed is 1450 rpm. Then find slip and rotor frequency. Find slip and rotor frequency. In this equation, in this question, here NR is the 1450 and NS is 120 F by P. So for every problem, when the data is given, from that data we should calculate a NS value first, because NS is very important for every calculation. So try calculate the NS value first. NS equal to 120 F by P. So you should not forget this formula. NS equal to 120 F by P. So F is the frequency 50 Hz and P is the number of poles, 4 poles. A 4-pole 50 Hz induction machine, then NS value is 1500 rpm. So here S means NS minus NR by NS. So in this equation, substitute the NR value 1450 and NS value is the 1500. 1500 minus 1450 equal to 50 by NS, that is 1500. 50 by 1450, So calculate that 50 by 4, no, 1500, then we get a 0.03%. Percent 0.03. So this is a 0.03 is a slip value. 0.03 is a slip value. So that is a 3% of slip. So as we know the frequency, rotor frequency Fr equal to SF, S into F. F means that is the starter frequency only. The starter frequency is always 50 Hz. The rotor frequency Fr equal to S into starter frequency. S is the slip. Slip equal to Ns minus Nr by Ns. Ns equal to 1500. Nr is 1450. If you substitute the value, then 1500 minus 1450 by 1500. Then we get a slip value equal to 0.03. Substitute the in equation rotor frequency Fr equal to S into starter frequency SF, then 0.03 into 50 Hz equal to 1.5 Hz. And next problem, a 4 pole 50 Hz induction machine running at 1450 rpm, running at 1450 rpm, then rpm at full load, and if the load is reduced to off, then find the speed. So here is a observe that the problem, a 4 pole 50 Hz induction machine is running at 1440 rpm at full load, and if the load is reduced to half, then find the speed. If the load is reduced, then speed must be increased. Okay, you should remember here an induction machine, if the speed, an induction machine, a induction machine is not a constant speed machine. It is not like synchronous machines. A induction machines runs nearly at constant speeds, but not at constant speeds. So it is like a shunt motor. So when loads are increasing on the induction machines, loads are increasing on induction machine, then speeds decreases. When loads are increasing, speeds are decreasing slightly. When loads are decreasing slightly, then speeds are increasing. So in this problem, load is reduced. If load is reduced to off or the somewhat level it was reduced, if the load is reduced, that means the speed has to be increased. The speed has to be increased means in the given below data, so 1500 is there, so it is a value of ns, because 4 pole 50 Hz induction machine runs at the synchronous speed, starter speed is ns equal to 1500. So it is a 1500 ns value, and so the if the induction machine is reduced, speed is load is reduced to half, then the speed is increased from 1440 to some level, but not 1500, because nr and ns must not be equal in induction machine. If ns and nr is equal, if ns and nr is equal, then there is no flux cutting on the rotor bars. So The flux cutting by the rotor bar is equal to 0 when ns equal to nr. If flux cutting is 0 by the rotor bars, then EMF in the rotor bar is 0. When EMF in the rotor bar is 0, then current in the rotor bar is 0. When current in the rotor bar is 0, the torque developed by the rotor bar is 0. When torque developed by the rotor bar is 0, there is no movement in the rotor bar. So the first answer 1500 is not correct. And now coming to the second, 1440. If the load is reduced, then the speed is increasing in the induction machine, but not correct. This one is a 1440. It is a earlier the speed, that is 1440 actual speed of the induction machine at full load. So at off load it is not a correct, it must be an increased value. So the C, here see the C value. So in the C, option C, 1470. So in the option C is the correct because of the 1440 to, it must be increased to the some level, that may be 1480, 70 or 90. What is there in the option, that is correct. So and 0 is not correct in the D option, 0 is not correct, and option C says that 1470 is the correct option. It's an near equal value. And next problem, a 3-phase 50 Hz induction machine is running with 630 rpm, then find the ns value. Okay, see here, a 3-phase 50 Hz induction machine is running with 630 rpm. So actually we want poles to calculate the ns value, because ns equal to 120 f by p. From this equation, the ns, to calculate the ns value, we need frequency value and poles. Here there is a frequency is given 50 hertz, but poles are not given. So take a randomly some poles. Okay, so if you take a 4 pole, then it is a 1500 rpm. If you take 2 pole, it is a 3000 rpm, because 120 into 50 by 2, it is equal to 3000 rpm for 2 pole, and for 4 pole there is a 1500 rpm. If ns is the 1500 rpm, then nr must be near to the ns. But here in the actual problem, the nr is 630. So because of nr equal to 630, when ns must not be a 1500 rpm. Okay, the nr nearly to the 1450 if it is a 4 pole machine. So this is not a 4 pole machine, because nr is 630. So if you go for 6 poles, because if the poles are increasing, ns value is decreasing. Ns equal to, from the equation, ns equal to 120 f by p. If number of poles are increasing, ns must be decreases. So for example, if it is a 6 pole machine, in the 6 pole machine says that in the 6 pole machine, ns equal to 120 into 50 by 6. That means there is a 1000 rpm. 1000 rpm. Okay, if it is a 6 pole, then it is a 1000 rpm. If it is a 1000 rpm, then nr must be near to the 950 or the 980 or 970 rpm. So it's not correct again. So let's go to the next pole. Again increase the pole. So increase the pole 120 into 50, 120 into 50, so the 6000 by 8 pole. So if it is go to the 8 pole, so if a 8 pole machine is there, then ns value is equal to 750. If ns value is 750, then the rotor may be rotate at the 700 or 750, 630, 670. So it's better. But so as per our nr value given in the equation problem, nr value is the 630. So select that nearest value. So if it is a for two pole machine, 3000 ns, and 3000 to 630, there is a lot of differences there. So it is not a two pole machine. So coming to the four pole machine, if it is a four pole machine, so ns value is a 150 and nr value is a 630. So 150 to 630, there is a lot of difference. So it is not a four pole machine. And coming to the six pole machine, so six pole, if it is a 1000, ns is 1000 and nr is a 630. So there is lot difference. And ns coming to the eight poles, if it eight pole, then it is a 730. Sorry, 750 is a ns value, because at ns with an 8 poles, with the 8 poles, the stator flux speed is a 750. So the 750 to 630, there is a small difference as compared to the other. So let coming to, if it is a 10 poles, so let's see with 10 poles. So 600. So the answer is 600 ns value is less. So in the option A is wrong, because nr is rotating at a higher speed. So nr is rotating at a higher speed than ns must not be lower value. Here because of here they are given only induction machine. The induction machine is given in the equation. So we should consider that the induction machine as a motor only. We should not consider the induction machine as a generator, because if the generator is given, then they should mention that induction generator is running with 630 rpm. So if there is no point out of motor or the generator, so in that condition you should consider that it is a motor. If it is a motor, so nr value is 630, then ns value must not be a 600. So 600, we get a 600 ns value when it is a under 10 pole machine. So a value is, option A is wrong, and option B 650. We shouldn't get the 650 value of ns, and option C is a 750. It is correct because of with the 8 pole we get a 750 value, and that 750 value is greater than the 630 value, and it is the nearest value. And option D is wrong because of 630 ns and nr is already 630. So ns and nr will not be equal in the induction machines. If it is a synchronous machine, the option D is correct, but it is induction machine, so it is wrong. So 750 is the correct answer. So now coming to the a three-phase 6-pole 50 Hz induction machine running at a standstill condition, that means not running, standstill condition. Then EMF induced in the rotor bars are 4 volts. If this machine is running at 950 rpm, then find the EMF in the rotor and rotor frequency. So here we should understand that 6 pole 50 Hz induction machine. Then you should calculate whenever poles and frequency is available, then you should calculate NS value. NS value is a 1000. So here question is, if this machine is running at 950 rpm, so the machine is running, so then find the EMF in rotor. Okay, you should understand that already given EMF induced in the rotor bar is the 4 volts. As this is the speciality of induction machine, the voltage in induction machine rotor bar is not constant. It is varies from the speed to speed. The voltage in an induction machine rotor bar is not constant. It is varies from standstill condition to running condition, because the rotor EMF E2 is equal to SE2. E2 are equal to SE2. E2 are equal to SE2. Here S is the slip. E2 is the rotor induced EMF, that E2 value is given 4 volts. So now should calculate the S value. S value NS minus S equal to NS minus NR. You calculate that, write that S equal to NS minus NR by NS. Substitute the NS equal to 1000 minus 950 by 1000. 1000 minus 950 by 1000. Then we get an answer 0.05. Slip equal to 0.05. Now substitute that slip value. E2 are equal to slip into E2. E2 is the 4 volts. So then we get an answer. See that E2 are equal to, sorry, yes, is equal to 0.05, and frequency, rotor frequency F are equal to, so here rotor frequency is calculated 2.5 Hz. F are equal to 0.05 into 50, we get it 2.5 Hz. E2 are equal to SE2. Write that F are equal to 0.05 into 50. We get answer 0.05 into 50, that equal to 2.5 Hz. But E2 are equal to 0.0, yes, E2 0.05 into 4, that equal to 0.2. Actually E2 are, write that E2 are is here, E2 are equal to, note down, E2 are equal to SE2. S value you know, that is 0.05 into 4 volts, that equal to 0.2. S value is the, sorry, E2 value is the 0.2 volts. So the induction machine is when it is running at 950 rpm, the EMF in the rotor is equal to 0.2 volts. and the standstill condition is the 4 volts, but under running condition, at when the machine is running at 950 rpm, the rotor EMF is equal to 0.2 volts, 0.2 volts, and rotor frequency is equal to 2.5 hertz. Fr equal to S into F. Okay. Okay. So now next topic is the power flow in the induction machine. So power flow in induction machine. This is topic very important here. Here power flow. Here motor input power PI. See here motor input power P1, actually that is a P1. The motor input, or we can say that the starter input, motor input or starter input P1, and that P1 is equal to, write down the P1 equal to root 3 VL IL cos pi, that is equal to P1 equal to root 3 VL IL cos pi. P1 equal to root 3 VL IL cos pi, because in root 3 VL IL cos pi, because for a 3-phase induction machine 3-phase supply is given, that is line to line RMS value. So you should consider that the root 3 VL IL cos pi. So whenever a fixed volt power is given, the P1 power is given to the stator. Whenever fixed power is P1 power is given to stator, then the some power is wasted in the stator in the manner, in the way of stator losses. Okay, whenever a P1 power is given to the stator, then some power is wasted in the stator, that is called stator losses. The stator losses are iron losses and copper losses. Okay, some losses is called stator losses is called iron losses and copper losses. As we know that the iron losses is the loss which exists in the iron core, that means stator core. Okay, in the stator core, so the loss exists is called stator core losses or iron losses or flux losses. So these losses also we call constant losses. Here again iron losses are two type. One is a hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. Hysteresis losses and eddy current losses. The hysteresis losses is in the machine because of magnetic reversal, and eddy current losses is because of the iron core, that is stator core, cut by the fluxes. Then EMF induced in the stator core, so that EMF circulates, so there is a circulating current produced. That circulating current is called the eddy current in the stator core. So in that way the eddy currents are produced in the induction machines. So in induction machine stator there is a iron losses and copper losses. The copper losses in the stator exist in the armature winding. The copper losses which exist in the armature copper winding, armature copper winding. So next coming to that, so after utilizing the wasting power in the stator, in the stator losses, and the remaining out power sent by the stator is called the stator output power. Stator output power. So the stator output power also we called P2. The starter output is input to the rotor. Started output power is called P2. That P2 is the input to the rotor. So when a fixed power, that fixed power is the P2 power is given to the rotor, then the rotor utilize that some power, and some power is wasted in the rotor, is called copper losses. Some power wasted in the rotor is called copper losses, and the remaining power is sent to the shaft. So that is a rotor output, or we can say that gross mechanical power developed by the rotor. So we can say that gross mechanical power developed by the rotor, we can say that PM, and rotor copper loss is the PCU, and remaining power, that rotor output power, is sent to the shaft. Whenever a rotor send a power to the shaft, that shaft utilize the shaft waste that power. Some power will be lost at shaft. That power waste is called mechanical losses. The mechanical losses are friction losses, bearing losses, and windage losses. Some windage loss also, very minute of losses, windage losses, because it is a round shape, so very minute losses. Okay, so and that remaining power is sent out to the at shaft, available at shaft. So this is the power flow in an induction machine. A three-phase line supply is given to starter. Some power wasted in the starter is called starter losses, and remaining power sent out from the starter is called starter output. The starter output power is a P2. That starter output power P2 also called the rotor input power, that is P2, and rotor input power given to rotor. So in rotor there is a some losses, that is rotor copper losses, and remaining power sent by the rotor, that power is called the rotor gross mechanical power developed by the rotor, or the rotor output power PM. And that rotor output power is a input to the shaft, input to the shaft. So that input shaft, at shaft there is a mechanical losses, and remaining power is the power available at the shaft. So as we know that P in input power P1 root 3 VL cos pi, root 3 VL IL cos pi. P in equal to P2 plus starter losses. P1 equal to P2 plus starter losses. P2 equal to T omega. P2 equal to T omega. It is the power equation. The power P equal to torque into angular velocity. Power P equal to torque into angular velocity. Here one more, P2 equal to PCU plus PM. Here P2 is the rotor input. Rotor input power P2 equal to rotor copper losses plus gross mechanical power developed by the rotor. The gross mechanical power developed by the rotor equal to rotor input power minus rotor copper losses. From the above equation, simple that the gross mechanical power developed by the rotor, that equal to PM. PM equal to rotor input P2 minus rotor copper losses. So now coming to Tz equal to P2 omega, Tz gross torque, Tz proportional to P2 omega. From that gross torque proportional to Tz proportional to, we should remember that the torque developed by the rotor is proportional to rotor input. It is proportional to rotor input. So power P2 equal to 2 pi ns proportional to Tc. Torque, we can say that synchronous watts. Here P2 PCU PM equal to 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. So this relation I will explain you in the next slide. So how to get a 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. So thank you for great listening. So we should write all the term in one. So note down and observe that equations, because of there is a memory uploading problem. So if I explain this same topic in the notes or the board, it taking more memory. That's why I'm taking this. I'm writing and explaining you, but you should practice. Then only you get